One a few months ago. Who was it? You came to the garage. You did the garage. And then all of a sudden this month it popped up saying Thermomix is turning 25 in Australia. Woohoo! So today's a birthday party. I didn't hang the balloons. Made a bit party-fied. And they said, so why not host your very own garage sale, garage party? And I went, they must have known what I did a few months back. So I thought that's easy for me. We're set up down here, aside from loading the car up and then driving everything down, because I think I told a few of you that last time it was $15 worth of just, bringing my kitchen down with ingredients. And there's a few things. I've got some books to peruse, a few of the accessories from the shop as well. So please have a look there. Today's just about you and me celebrating Thermomix in Australia, 25 years. Last year I celebrated 15 years as a consultant. So it's a little bit of a trip down memory lane. I put a few photos up here. And just before we start, I just wanted to tell you my story because I've got the limelight here. Yeah. Then I'm going to ask you some questions. But I just put this together last night and started going through my photos, the 60,000 photos that you've all got on your phone. So it was quite time consuming. But I thought over the 15 years, it just made me feel so grateful. So I just want to share you a snapshot of my story today. And I've shared it a few times in a mini version at a demo. We might have other people joining us, which is great. But I want to honour you for your time, and I want to keep it to our 2-hour time frame. So I had been doing a health coaching course, learning about natural remedies and food and all the above. And someone told me about the Thermomix, and I was about to buy a Vitamix because I thought, oh, it's great. I'd been through 7 blenders in 10 years making green smoothies. This is 20 years ago. And I just thought, I don't like landfill, and appliances are only made for a certain length of time, right? And then they're discarded. So I was going to get this Vitamix, amazing product, and a couple $1,000, blends, and it can make sorbet, crush ice and do that sort of thing. Someone said to me, oh, before you make that purchase, Jen, you really need to see a Thermomix. So she hosted a demo in her house on her deck, a bit like this, and there was about 20 people she put out because she was also with a food network, and she invited people to come, and it was a bit chaotic because, as you imagine, all went natter. But I went away from that day with my jaw on the floor and thought, oh my goodness, this is what I need. I had all the appliances, so as you probably have done over the years, collected, hand up if you've got a pair of kitchen scales, you've got a steamer, you've got the blender, you've got the food processor with all the plates, you've got the bread maker, you've got the scales, you go on, right? There's a number of appliances out there that are great, but they are just assigned to that one thing, right? Even a flour mill. Who has heard of such a thing? You can pay $700 for your flour mill, and it does that. We can pay $4,000 for a coffee machine, right? I know that's important. Yeah. But it only does one thing. Mix the two. I still have. But what I loved was the multi-functional unit and this one amazing product. Now I will point to you the actual TM31, which is what I went to view. And as I say, this was something like 16, 17 years ago. And I saw its potential, and I just thought I need it. There's 2 things I hate, and you might be able to associate with this, and that is the clean up at the end of cooking, at the end of the night. And I had 3 kids, and often we had periods of time with other kids staying and living with us, and they'd all go, we've eaten, takes 2 hours to cook, 20 minutes to eat, and then another 2 hours to clean up at the end of the day. So I just hated the fact that, yes, I cook naturally from scratch, additive free. There's an amazing book over on the table called Additive Alert. When I read that and understood the sneaky things that they're putting in our processed packaged food, I thought I've got to get back to scratch. No matter what the time tag is, I've got to do it. So that's what I started doing. I was teaching people how to make raw cakes. I had a business called Think More Raw, and it was about nuts and seeds and fruit and getting off gluten-free, dairy-free. Everyone thrives when you get off those things. Sugar, of course, you watched that sugar film, amazing. And I was actually running health documentaries too on a monthly basis, so I'd seen them all. Food Matters, Hungry for Change, just amazing documentaries. So yeah, back to the things I hate, that was one thing, the aftermath and the time that it takes. Who is with me on that? Because, you know, it's just, it's overwhelming. Even though we've got dishwashers and that helps, it was just all the things that would go in. So what appealed to me was one bowl. It's a one bowl wonder, because you literally, you make your dip, you rinse it, you make your salad, you rinse it, you make your bread dough, you rinse it, you make your main meal, you rinse it, you make your steamed veggies. I could do that all night, just back and forward and rinse. And then at the end of the night, I have one bowl to put in the dishwasher. Does that appeal to anyone? That's one thing I hate, and the Thermomix solved that. The second thing I really hated was the waste. Who loves walking down the aisles and picking up beautiful produce and thinking, oh my goodness, I'm going to make that salad and I'm going to do that. I would do that. I'd buy bags of beautiful, colourful, amazing raw food, and at the end of the week I go, oh no, I forgot about that coriander, I should have used that, and in the bin it would go. I'd pick up something else and I'd go, oh no, it's gone brown. So the thing with the Thermomix is there is no waste. When you can understand the recipes that you can convert these things to, I'm going to show a few bits and pieces later, but you know, we've got an amazing lot of accessories, and one of my favourite things is the vacuum seal. So we've got jars and we've got little containers that come. Now here's just the end of a Wombok cabbage, which we're going to use some cabbage today, but I didn't want to waste that because that could become something else. So I just popped it in my bag, used my little vacuum seal, and there's no waste. That will last for ages. Take the air out, you know, your blueberries, your strawberries. I usually get my produce at the end of the week, line it up, containerize it, and I know it's good for a couple of weeks. So I love that. We have a book called Less Waste, More Thermomix Food, and we've got things showcasing like celery. You buy your celery, you chop the tops off and throw it into your compost, right? Dun dun. No, you can use that for your celery remoulade. Yes, ooh. Don't waste those organic tops. So that's what I found the Thermomix for me. Yes, I'm passionate about healthy food. I then saw an opportunity and a purpose to then show other people how they can do it. Because my husband would say, he'd see me load stuff up, I'd go and do a cooking class, 50 people. And he said, you don't expect people are going to spend all that time doing all those things that you know, that's hours of cooking in the kitchen. So enter the Thermomix, and that was my saviour. I had it for a year. I loved it. It was a bit of a hurdle to get there. We have different payment options now, and I think that it's worth its weight in gold. It has saved me time and time again. So on a general shop, we can show how just converting from store-bought stuff to making your own hummus or your bread, yogurt, whatever you do, we can show you how you can save $40 a week, minimal. And then it goes on to make, you know, it pays for itself in the savings it makes. And we even have customers now. Of course, they love it, like your iPhones. You've had one, or your Samsung. Sorry, guys. You have one, and you just like the next model because you know you're going to enjoy the next lot of features and modes that come with it. So, 12 months later, I'd been giving my consultant all these sales because I was doing cooking classes, showing it, and people going, where can I buy one of these? So she made some money off me. One day she said, you need to become a consultant. And I said, oh, I'm just not out there. I'm not outgoing enough. You ask my husband. I'm the shyest person that I know. And it took a while for us to talk. And I just thought, no, that's not me at all. And I was a hairdresser in a former life, did 4 years, and I wouldn't ever recommend shampoo to my customers because I didn't want to come across pushy. I'm not a pushy salesperson, but I'm passionate. So that's what I bring when I come on, and I finally said, okay, I'll do it. I'll do it for a short time. I was working 4 days in a jeweler. Okay, I'm going to do this. Show a few of my friends and maybe I'll make a few dollars on the way. So I signed up in November 2010. Ta-da! Did my 60-day program and I sold 13. I was blown away. I just showed my friends and they were all going, why didn't you tell us about this? You know, I'd had it for a year and they were loving it. And I thought, well, maybe I'll stay around. So the first 12 months as a consultant, I sold nearly 100 machines. And that was just on a weekend. I worked my week job, and on a weekend, Friday night or Saturday afternoon, I did a little demo. Sometimes I'd invite people over and just cook with them and show them. And I was the top New South Wales consultant for 2011. So that was pretty impressive. I didn't even try. It was just something that I, as I say, am just passionate about. So what Thermomix does is it's a very rewarding place to work. Achievement and recognition is a big thing. So we actually get an annual conference opportunity to earn, and it might be overseas, it might be in the country. And the very first year that I earned 100 Thermomixes, I qualified to go to Thermofest, which was in Hawaii. Now, because I did so well, I didn't only get to go there myself, but my husband came with me. So he will give you a thumbs up how cool that was, because we'd not travelled to Hawaii before, and it was just the most exciting thing to actually get a free trip away. It was 5-star, everything provided. While I did conference for 3 days, the men went to, and you had to do a certain criteria to earn your husband's. He got to go to Pearl Harbor and do these other things. That was Hong Kong. That was the year later. So I'm just going to take a few little photos as we go along. I am just in so much gratitude for the business, for what it's done, and I never set out to be full-time, and after a year or two and seeing how rewarding it was, I stepped up and became a group leader. So we only had 4 consultants on the Central Coast. We now have somewhere around 200. So I broke out quite a few leaders from my group, and we have a nice, thriving Central Coast and beyond. We've sort of got this area, and then there's other regions and areas. So I am just putting it out there today because I've decided to start my new team leader challenge again. I did it for 8 years. I moved here and I said I'm going to retire, not from Thermomix, but I've ended up with a full-time job that I love. Didn't expect to do that, and I've continued in this new area with not knowing anyone, having sold in 2.5 years, probably sold, I don't know, 30 a year, 30 Thermomixes, just with my networking. You know, I meet this beautiful lady at the cafe, meet this lovely lady and that one at church, and then the cafe. You know, it's really lovely how this place just really community. And so it's just been a side hustle for me. I've decided to take that step in growing a team, and I really want to portray today to you just how amazing it is. Could be just, you know, with a few hours a week, and all we ever expect is that, you know, you're out there showing people, and that you can put forth maybe a sale a month. It's just about getting the word out, because this is how our business operates. We don't have a shop. They've done that overseas. Thermomix is German. Did anyone not know about Thermomix today? I think you've all come here with some knowledge around the Thermomix. It's a German company. It's been around for 50 years there, but as I say, 25 years here. Grace and Bianca started it in their garage, thus the garage party today. And they then handed back to the parent company a year ago. So we now are being run by Vorwerk International, so that's really been an exciting change. I have now done, every year we get the chance, as I say, to earn our Thermofest. I've been to all different places, from Adelaide, Noosa, all our different Thermofests, and then as a team leader, we've done different things. We've gone to different locations, Melbourne, the Langham. We've had the best time. And that's what you're seeing here. Every time we go somewhere, it's a fancy dress opportunity night. So we'll see a few crazy, we get up to a lot of fun. But I just would like to put it out there to you today. If you're considering, a new job or new year, then talk to me later, because that's in Auckland. I went to Auckland, and every holiday that I go to Thermofest for 3 days, I get my husband on the plane. He comes over, and we did Hong Kong, and we did China for 2 weeks. When we went to Auckland, we did 2 weeks around there. It's just been awesome. So that's why I've got my slideshow going in the background. It's just a trip down memory lane, so I hope that explains that. Gives you a little snapshot of just all the fun we've had. The home show in Sydney, I've been part of that from one year to another. And all I can say is that Thermomix business has meant to me friendships, great food. We've had chefs come in and teach us things. Fun, excitement. That was the original owners that brought it here to Australia. Danny Valent, you might have heard of her. She's got cookbooks, and we've just been able to connect with so many amazing people. The food show, we had a couple of those guys, your names escape me right now, but that's my team. One of my teams going back some years ago. There's a food and wine show. We just had such a great experience. So thank you for hearing my story. I just really wanted to give you a snapshot of why I do what I do. What we love is just for you as a customer, as most of you have got your Thermomix, is to have the most amazing customer journey, which just means that you can host a demo whenever you feel like you need more inspiration. That's free to you. That's part of you purchasing a Thermomix. You buy a piece of your consultant so that we can look after you. You can be honest, like Christy, haven't used it for weeks. Right, come on, I'm coming over, we're gonna make something. Come to my place and we'll make something. And what we want to turn you all into is raving fans, because if you go out there and you just promote it as well, you might not want to be a consultant like me, then you can tell people how amazing it is, and together we can promote the brand, which I think is fabulous. Thank you for listening to me.